Okay, this is the second video. It is December 8, 2020, which is a Tuesday, and this hearing, as from the first video, was scheduled for 9 a.m. The court time is actually 9:05 a.m. and 33 seconds.
Stand by.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Madam Clerk, it being 9:05, yes, you may call that case.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Worcester Division District Court Department. Today is the 8th of December, 2020. This is courtroom 24. Parties to be heard in the matter of John Fijol versus Michael J. Burrill, docket number 2062 RO 1801817. And Your Honor, this is an order pursuant to 258E. It's actually today a two-party hearing. No order has previously issued.
Yes, for purposes of the record, Mr. Fijol sought this order, I believe, back on November 25th. I scheduled a two-party hearing, and then on December 2nd, Mr. Burrill filed a motion for continuance in order to get an attorney. And good morning, Attorney Maloney. I see he did get an attorney.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And the matter was scheduled on December 2nd with Mr. Fijol being present for today at 9 a.m. It is now 9:06. Mr. Fijol has not signed into the Zoom. To the best of my knowledge, he has not contacted the clerk's office to let us know of any delay. So at this time, I am not going to issue any order. The hearing is now concluded, and the 258E request is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Maloney. Thank you, Mr. Burrill.
Thank you, Judge D'Angelo. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am? Okay.
All right, the court time is 9:07 a.m. and 32 seconds right
Get
now.
what's going on here.
All set, Madam
It
Clerk?
would be in 23. We are all set with this matter. I just wanted to make sure the call from the clerk's office was not, in fact, Mr. Burrill, it is not.
Like,
All
you
right.
can hang up now.
Madam Clerk, Attorney Maloney,
Yes.
I'm not saying I would entertain it, but just in case Mr. Fijol calls and says there was some delay, is there a telephone number that our clerk could reach you at if necessary?
Yes, if I could just provide it this way, or do you want me to? I can give it to Madam Clerk right now if that's fine.
That'd be great. And Madam Clerk, I'm going to sign off while Attorney Maloney gives you that information and go into courtroom 23. If Mr. Fijol does contact your office, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, my phone number is 5.
I can't hear anything, man.
508 9.
Correct.
Okay. Is there
I
a
can
John
hear a word.
Fijol on the Zoom? John
How to do
Fijol.
this.
I hear a gentleman talking. Is it John Fijol? We're going to go with no. Attorney Maloney, Mr. Burrill, thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. To the ladies and gentlemen on the Zoom, we are now getting our judge for the day, and I'll be right with you. Give me just a moment. Thank you.
Okay, so what just happened there is Judge Andrew D'Angelo is specifically handling anything to do with the town of Warren, including the John Fijol case. So as you can see, this is just one sample of audio admissions that Judge D'Angelo is handling the Mike Burrill cases and a John Fijol Warren town officials cases are Judge D'Angelo is handling that. And then as you can see in their own admission that everybody else gets a different judge. So not saying there's anything wrong with that, but just something that's been brought to the attention of the Warren Board of Selectmen on what's going on with this case. All right, so I'm going to pause the video here for a brief second, and we're going to jump to the next audio recording. Okay, we're back recording again. So in the very first video from December 2nd, it was Mr. John Fijol that recommended 9 a.m. So as you can see, he did not show up for the second court date at 9 a.m. And as you'll see from this recording, that magically thought it was December 8th at 2 p.m., but it wasn't. So anyhow, so here is now the 2 p.m. recording. The court time is 2 p.m. exactly, 0 minutes, 45 seconds.
Good afternoon, Madam Clerk. You may call the case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Parties to be heard in the matter of John Fijol versus Michael Baril, 262RO1817. This is a request for an order pursuant to 258E, scheduled today for a two-party hearing.
Okay, Mr. Fijol, are you able to activate your camera, sir? Mr. Fijol, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay. Are you able to? Yes, we can hear you, sir. Can you hear us?
Good. Yes, I can, sir.
All right. Do you have the ability to activate your camera, sur?
I had to use the dial-up thing, I think, unless you want me to go back to the Zoom. Will it work on off of a phone, cell phone, off of like that, without internet?
Yep. Yep. Oh, you don't have internet?
No, sir. I mean, I have data on my phone, but I don't have an internet. I'm on the road.
Well, we'll have to proceed this way then. All right.
Okay, I'm pausing that for a second. The reason for that question is the court has no proof or provided no proof from the previous recording that was actually legitimately, legally, John Fijol on the other end of the phone, because it was audio only. And that's why that question was brought up, because it was addressed to the court by a private phone call, questioning, saying, "Are you sure that's Mr. Fijol on the other end of the line?" And they said, "Well, we think so." So that's the reason why they came up, was to have the court prove that that's actually him, which as you can see, whoever was on the other end of the phone never came on video to prove it was him. So that's the reason for the question. And that's a court violation procedure that the court has to have assurance that the other person, that somebody attending is actually that person, versus sending somebody else to just be a voice.
Okay.
Mr. Fijol and Mr. Burrell, I'll ask you both to raise your right hand. Do you both solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Michael Burrell, yes.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Attorney Maloney. You can hear and see us okay?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right. I have read the affidavit submitted by the plaintiff and reviewed the documentation. So, Mr. Fijol, I'll hear you on why I should issue a harassment order against Mr. Burrell.
Sir, if I may interrupt for a moment, I apologize. Yes. Jason Maloney here again. Candidly, I realize with Zoom there's an added variable. My review of the affidavit, specifically the hyperlink, the YouTube links, whatnot, I would suggest there may be a potential fit for the plaintiff in this case, realizing there is no criminal charge against the individual here. I just draw it to the court's attention. I realize these are unique times, but I feel like I would be remiss without addressing that to the court at this time.
And what that's referring to is pleading the fifth is the rule for self-incrimination, that anything you say can and be used against you in a court of law, and anything that Mr. Fijol states in this under oath, he could be criminally charged with the statements that he says under oath in court today. That's the short version of what the attorney is saying.
All right. I will warn Mr. Fijoli. Mr. Fijoli, according to Mr. Burrell's attorney, Based on the information that you put in the affidavit, including the hyperlinks, he is suggesting that you potentially could incriminate yourself as far as a potential criminal charge. I'm not saying that is accurate. I'm not saying that will happen, but as a lawyer, he has an obligation to point that out to the court. And because of that, if you did have a Fifth Amendment privilege, you would have a right to refuse to testify if you wanted. Keeping that warning in mind, Mr. Fijol, do you still want to go forward at this hearing today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Go right ahead, sir. You can testify and tell me why you feel you need the protection of a harassment order.
Mr. Burrell stated in many blogs, many statements on the internet that my wife and myself are bribing the Warren Planning Board and other town officials. He also states that we are contaminating property that we own in the watershed area of town. The DEP was notified by Mr. Burrell. The DEP did show up. They did their investigation, and the woman that did the investigation said there's more oil in the municipal parking lot, the municipal building in Warren, than there is in the sand pit. Okay, Mr. Burrell states that the town is covering up some kind of big oil spill. The oil spill that was there was from a vehicle. It was no more than 3 or 4 inches in diameter, one little spot. He is calling my mother, my family, liars, that we are covering this all up and that we taken material out of that sand pit and disposed of the dirty dirt and all this stuff. Okay, that's just the start of it. He also states that I assaulted my wife in a video that he posted online, which he posted the video and there was no assault there, okay? He also states that my wife assaulted a lady by the name of Charlene Farris, who was in the vehicle with him, which never happened. My wife went over and talked with that lady. Okay, she never assaulted, and there was no charges filed.
Yeah,
there was no
objecting
police
to
report
the statements right here, Your Honor, if he's testifying on behalf of other individuals.
There's no police report on file.
Mr. Fijol, were you present when this supposedly happened?
Yes, sir, I was.
Objections overruled.
Understood.
You can continue, Mr. Fijol.
Okay. As a result of these not accusations, as a result of these statements that Mr. Burrell posted, I found myself in probate court with over issues with my son that I had physical and legal custody with. Okay. She went into the court saying because of these, she had the exact statements from Mr. Burrell's posts that said that I assaulted my wife, and what kind of man would assault his wife? He's not to be taking my son and raising my son that way and blah, blah, blah. It cost me thousands of dollars to fight this in court. Okay? The same thing happened with my wife over this so-called assault with Mrs. Farris, Charlene Farris, who I've known for 20 years. Okay? She was brought into court, and the same kind of thing happened. Okay? This guy also posted, this Michael Burrell also posted a police report from that sandpit incident and posted it online with my social security number, my wife's social security number, and 5 members of the planning board social security number on it. As a result of that, I just got a bill in the mail a month ago from a small business association for $40,000 that someone took out and put into an online bank account in my social security number and my date of birth. I think is a direct result of this, him posting this this piece of paper, this document online with all our social security numbers on it. Okay, this has been going on and on and on, and it's going to stop. I don't know what I did to this man, but this is going to stop. It's going to stop. I want him, if this is a harassment order is granted, I want him to remove everything with my name on it, my wife's name, and my mother's name. He's posted meetings beating up on my mother about the contamination in the sand pit where we have our inspections annually. Okay, enough is enough, Your Honor. Enough is enough. Okay, I am getting really, really upset about this, and I've been losing sleep over this. This has got to stop. And if it doesn't stop, I'm going right to the court, and I'm going to take out criminal charges on this man. It's got to stop.
All right. Okay, thank you. Counsel, any questions you'd like to ask Mr. Fijol?
Please, again, for the record, Your Honor, Jason Maloney on behalf of Mike Burrill. Sir, Jason Maloney here. I'm Michael's attorney. Can you hear me, John? Or
Yes, sir, I
Mr.
can.
Fijol? I apologize.
John is fine. That's fine.
Yeah, John, for clarity, your family, what is the name of that company that your family owns that you've referenced?
There's
Is it
multiple
Fijol
companies.
Junk? Let me rephrase
I
that.
own-
In your
I own-
affidavit, are you owner and operator of Fijol's Junkyard Incorporated?
Yes, sir, I am. And I've been
And
doing
you-
it for 35 years in a small town. And if I was an unethical, unreliable
I kindly
person, I
kindly
would not
ask
be in
you,
business for 35 years.
Mr. Fijol, just answer the questions, please. Next question, Counsel.
yeah. Again, you referenced in your affidavit, sir, that I see from November 25th of this year that my client put something on social media regarding Fijol's Junkyard Incorporated, correct? Specifically from November 23rd per your affidavit?
I am the owner of that. It affects my business because I am the owner. I am the one responsible for my
Again,
business.
sir, I know this is a unique situation via Zoom. I just kindly ask, the judge may ask follow-up questions. I just kindly ask you answer the questions I'm asking you.
I do not have the paper in front of me, sir. I don't remember exactly what I wrote.
Understood.
But whether
But was it
it's
something
Fijel's
from...
Junkyard, it is Fijel's Junkyard Incorporated, or it's myself, it's the same thing in the small town eyes.
Okay. And
I am
clarity,
Fijel's Junkyard.
yes. Okay. For clarity, sir, there's something from September 2017. Is that accurate that he puts on, allegedly
Yes.
puts on his social media? When we say he,
Yes.
my client, Michael Burrill.
Yes.
And again, he puts it on social media.
He posted on the Warren Corruption or something,
Yes.
some title like that, yes.
And do you, in one of those videos, threaten to break his cell phone?
It's very possible, yes. Because my 9-year-old daughter was there, and he's filming
Sir,
with
again, my
audio.
question to you, is that a yes or no, you threaten to break his cell phone?
I plead the fifth on that.
Oh, you can't plead the
Okay.
fifth on
Yes, I
certain
did.
questions, sir.
Yes, I most certainly did. I did threaten to break his phone, yes.
And that was from
That's in the
2017.
Yes, sir.
There's another incident you referenced from September 18, 2017 at a public meeting, correct?
The public meeting was the meeting at that day at the sand pit. There's
Again,
also
from
another
September,
meeting. I don't know the
again,
dates,
from
sir.
September 2017.
We can go on and on. I don't know the dates, dude. I don't know. Is that when he was in the Warren Water
In the-
District? Ranting
in the last-
about the...
And there was another meeting from December of 2017. Is that accurate?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't have paperwork. I'm working. I'm on the road. I'm in New Hampshire border right now, sitting in a parking lot. I don't have the paperwork in front of me.
In the last month, has my client had direct contact with you?
No, but he's posted on the Warren
In the
Neighborhood
last-
Watch.
So he's posted on social media, a public platform.
Yes, and if the stuff was true, that would be fine,
Sir,
but it's
sir.
not.
In the last year, has my client had direct contact with you?
No, sir.
In the last 2 years, has my client had direct contact with you?
No, sir.
To the best of your ability, the last time you know, was it approximately November or December of 2017 that my client, Mr. Burrill, has had direct contact with you?
That is very possible to be the truth, yes.
That, to the best
don't
of your
have
ability,
it.
that's what you believe.
Yes.
He has not, in the last year, threatened harm to you.
I don't think he would do that, sir.
In the last year, he has not threatened abuse to you.
Verbal abuse would be considered verbal abuse, sir. That's the same as threatening anything else. He is calling me a liar.
Again, my question to you is, has he threatened harm to you in the last year?
That wasn't the question.
My question to you now is, in the last year or 2 years, you have had no direct contact with him.
No, sir.
And by that default, he has not threatened abuse to you in the last year or 2 years.
No, I wouldn't say that.
In the last year, has he tried to damage your property?
I don't know, because the last time he trespassed on my property, I didn't know about it until he took the pictures and gave them to the planning board and the Board of Health in Warren.
So you never saw my client trespass on your property then?
Well, judging from the pictures that he took, no, I never saw you because I would have had it arrested if I saw him trespassing on my property.
Okay.
That's kind of common sense, isn't it?
Sir, I kindly ask that you refrain from those responses, Judge.
And I did have a no trespass order on him, which I believe is currently up, but I will be issuing another one. I did have one against
counsel.
Nothing further. Thank you, sir.
All right. All right, counsel, would your client like to present any evidence on his own behalf?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll hear you in argument, counsel.
Again, Jason Maloney on behalf of Mr. Burrill. Your Honor, I would argue that these two, it's clear there is a contentious relationship between the two of them. Having said that, I would suggest that this court does not, or ask that this court does not issue the harassment prevention order. We heard from John Fijol that in the last year, 2 years, I think 3 years approximately, whenever that December 2017, so give or take a couple days, 3 years from any direct contact between the two individuals. Now, my client is alleged to have posted things on social media. That said, Your Honor, per the affidavit, which Your Honor had an opportunity to review, these are from public meetings, as the individual, as Mr. Fijol puts in his affidavit. This isn't him going into the individual's house and filming him. There's no expectation of privacy. These are from public meetings that he posts, what I assume to be town meetings that are posted on social media. I would respectfully suggest that the legislative intent of the harassment prevention order is not to address an issue like this. Now, I would strongly suggest my client, regardless of what this court makes for a ruling, no contact, direct or indirect. Having said that, in no way am I trying to mitigate concerns. That said, I would, what appears to be, bickering isn't the right word, excuse me, Your Honor. I'm trying to look for the right word, and again, by no way trying to minimize it. Having said that, I would suggest that the legislative intent is not, the purpose of the legislative intent is not to issue a harassment prevention order for an individual that, again, has had no contact, the only contact being that he supposedly or allegedly posted social media posts from a public forum online. Thank you. And again, excuse me, I just apologize. I apologize, Your Honor. I asked the John Fijol regarding causing fear, intimidation, or abuse or damage to the property. I believe he answered no to all of those. Now, perhaps the abuse, he said there could have been something that could have been construed as verbal abuse. But outside of that, I don't think there's been 3 incidents for the harassment prevention order to issue. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Fijol, is there anything you'd like to add at the end, sir, as an argument to this?
Well, Your Honor, I'm not going to say it as eloquently as that young man in the court just said it. This person, if he posted the truth, I would have no objection to that. But by posting lies and people that don't know me reading these lies, it puts me in everyone's eyes as a liar. Okay, I am not contaminating anything. And if there was any contamination up there, it would have been addressed by the DEP, and we would have had excavators up there and DEP people up there, and we were moving and had receipts for contaminated soil and all kinds of things. There would have been a big to-do about all this if there was contamination. By him still stating in the past Facebook thing, probably 2.5 weeks ago, that it was a big cover-up by the town. I'm paying off officials. Your Honor, that makes me look like some kind of mafia person. I'm trying to cover stuff up. I don't cover anything up. If I did something wrong, I'm taking a rap for it. Okay? I have never contacted Mr. Burrill. I have never posted anything on social media about him. I have never mentioned his name in public to talk about him. And this man continues to go on and on about me and my mother and my wife. I'm at my wit's end. Okay, I don't know what more I can say. I would like him to remove everything that has my name on it, my mother's name, and my wife's name, including the document that he posted with our Social Security numbers. I think that is wrong. I think that should be criminally charged. Okay? I've got to fight with the Small Business Association now and tell them that I did not do this. I did not take out the loan. I do not have the bank account that was deposited in. I've got to prove all this stuff because of someone who's just willy-nilly posting things. I agree. He should have never received a police report that had the information on it. All that information should have been redacted before it was handed to him, but it wasn't. And he took that and he ran with it like he was a school kid that stole somebody's lunch money and running with this. It's not right that he continues to do this stuff, not just to me, but I'm stating for me, my wife, and my mother. Enough is enough.
All right, thank you very much. So first let me say I am not going to make any comments regarding the truth of Mr. Burrell's allegations that are on social media, and really not going to state how this could certainly affect Mr. Fijol and his family. However, I am bound by the law, and the law does allow somebody to exercise his or her First Amendment rights to speech, which includes being able to post things on the internet, frankly, whether they're true or not true. As long as I find that the statements are not made with the specific intent to harass an individual, I cannot issue a harassment order unless I find that. And again, without getting into whether any of these statements are true or not, Mr. Burrell seems like he has some legitimate purpose to post that without getting into the truth of those allegations. And because of that, I do not find there is enough evidence for me to issue a harassment order. However, and I'm sure Attorney Maloney can warn Mr. Burrell that there might be other causes of actions that Mr. Fijol could potentially conduct against Mr. Burrell if those allegations are not true, and there potentially could be crimes that were committed. I don't know. I just suggest that Mr. Burrell may want to talk to his lawyer more before anything else gets done. But as far as the harassment order is concerned, I am not issuing a harassment order at this time. The hearing is now concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Madam Portuguese interpreter.
All right, the end, 2:21 p.m. and 36 seconds. So my comment to what you just heard is the result after the fact is I technically cannot discuss it. It's not anything criminal towards me, but there is action being taken currently against Mr. Fijol and I don't want to say the word Warren town officials, but there is an investigation. So that's pretty much it to discuss. So you heard it there. The order had no validity, meaning that the elements of the criteria was not met. And as you heard, the judge also say there is a right to free speech, and in public meetings are public meetings. So I guess as far as that, I'll just leave it there. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the like button, which is the thumbs up, and subscribe. And then you got to change the notification bell to receive notifications, and you'll get that whenever there's a new video that's out. Again, thanks for watching and appreciate everyone's time.